Well, hello, my lords and ladies, and welcome to another episode of our Warhammer 40K. I can speak, yep, of our Gretchins. We're doing all 10 of them, so if you want to do one specific, you can. But first off, I want to say thank you to all my YouTube members. You guys are absolutely amazing. You get early access to all videos on Sunday, so yay, you guys. Anybody who's watching this, trying to get this, trying to keep it going, trying to keep it rocking. This is a pretty easy video, nothing too crazy, nothing insane. But yeah, it's pretty chill. So without further ado, all right, let's go. All right, after obviously building your miniature, and I put some Sterling mud down and spray painted it with black and then from white from above to create that zenithal little highlighting that we're used to on this channel. We're going to paint all of our little goblins' skin with some Orruk Flesh, little base paint. Just slap that on there, and we'll move on to the next step. For our goblin's little hand wraps, we're going to be using some Tuskgor Brown. I like to thin my Tuskgor Brown just a little bit with some Lahmian Medium, so I put it on a wet palette, put some Lahmian Medium in there, and thin it down. It's very, very thick coming out, and I want to keep some of that transparency, or keep some of that paint a little opaque through that white. We're going to use Black Templar on our furry areas. Yay. This is a little bit lighter black. It's a little bit more opaque, and that's exactly what we're looking for. It gives a nice translucent look on that white background, so it makes highlighting very minimal. For our front and back little areas below that armor, we're going to be doing some rust gray. So we're going back and forth between contrast and regular paints. I know it can be a little bit of a pain, but we can't use contrast paints for everything. We got to go old school on some of it. For our metallics, we are using some Iron Warriors. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are like, well, why don't we just use Leadbelcher? You can, but I like using a darker metallic on our metal pieces first, and then we can highlight it with some Leadbelcher. You don't really need these two for metals, in my opinion. This is my favorite way to do metallics, and I do this for about 90% of my miniature. So we're doing the sword, parts of the gun, parts of the helmet, including the spike and the skull cap on top. And yeah, so pretty easy. For all of the teeth and the fingernails or the claws, we're going to be using some Morghast Bone. You could use some Skeleton Horde. They're so small, I just didn't want to do it. I'd rather just use base paint. For the front armor, we are going to be using some Bathasar Gold. It's kind of a brass look. You can also use a brass color if you would like. It's up to you, but I really wanted to just use that gold on there real quick. And finally, we're going to be using some Retributor Armour, obviously on the sword hilt bottom, or the guard in the bottom. And I think some on the gun. That's it. All right, moving on to our wash step. Now that we have all of our base colors on, I'm doing a 50-50 mix of Ork Flesh and Lahmian Medium. This is going to turn out very green. You're going to look at it and go, oh no, What did I just do? Trust me on this. Have a little bit of a leap of faith. Have some trust in me. It's okay. It's all right. If you're watching these videos, you can trust me. I'm a trustworthy person. We're in the trust tree with the nest. Anyways, you can thin it down if you want with even more. You can go to a 1 part Ork Flesh to 3 parts Lahmian Medium, but I think it's fine just like this. All over the green skin. No secret here for all of our... That is a green boy right there. Don't worry, we're going to highlight it up. Trust me. Just trust me. We're going to be using some Nulin Oil on all of our metallics. We're also going to be using this on the rust gray part. 2 little parts, one in the front, one in the back. And yeah. And then we are finally going to do our brass or our gold areas. So the Retributor Armour and the Bathasar Gold with some Agrax Earthshade. Let this all dry. We will be moving on to the highlights step. All right, now that you have a very green boy, we're going to be focusing on reapplication of Orruk Flesh. Now, we want to do this on all of the muscles, a vast majority of it. You're not going to see a whole lot of that green paint or the wash that we put on there, very much. So we're going to focus on all of the green areas. Obviously, the ears, nose, face, chin, lips, all of the muscles that are bulging out. You do not want to get anything into the recesses. That's what creates the highlight on these miniatures. So I'm just going through, picking out all of these little areas. If I feel like it didn't get enough paint on there, I'll do a reapplication or a second coat on it as well. For a highlight on this, you can see that we greened it down pretty good. We're going to use some Ogryn Camo. So we're going to go basically over all of those other areas that we just went over. If you want to kind of decrease the amount of surface area you do on those spread out areas like the thighs and the back muscles and stuff, you can absolutely do that. But we want to make it a green goblin. And obviously with some lighter tones in there, you don't want it one solid color. So again, we're not getting anything into the recesses. We are focusing on the muscles, the hands, and the fingers as well. And then obviously all those back muscles on our shredded goblin's back. Must have did back day today. All right, we're looking pretty good already. And we're going to use some Mechanicus standard grade just to highlight up those fur areas. Now, the Black Templar should have made it opaque, so it was kind of already sticking through. I just wanted to bring it up just a little bit. You can use some Dawnstone on this if you would like to make it a little bit brighter, but I just went with some basic Mechanicus standard grade. I didn't want to overpower it. I wanted to keep the skin the focal point of this miniature. For our wraps, I'm using a little bit of a Baneblade brown, not trying to overdo it, just picking out some of those straps, doing a little bit of a dry brush type thing here with some minimal paint on there, not going overboard. Just really wanted to get a little bit of a highlight, but nothing too crazy here. For our rust gray areas, we are going to do the rust gray again. Again, not getting anything into the recesses, just the raised areas, highlighting those right back up. For our teeth and fingernails and toenails, if you could get them, mine didn't really come through that well on the toenails, but we're going to use some Screaming Skull, any off-colored white, a little bit of egg color in there. And now we're going to do the metallics. So we're just going to do some of that Leadbelcher on there. So that dark undertone on there. Put that Leadbelcher right on top. It should look just fine. Obviously doing the sword, the gun, and then the helmet as well. I think this is the best way to paint metallics, in my opinion. Runefang Steel is very nice as well, but it's just so bright. I don't want to make it too bright. So, again, that'll take your eyes off of that delicious skin you created on that goblin. And so, don't want to overdo it. All right, coming down to the wire here, we're going to be doing some Tuskgor Fur on there. You know, they also have, this is how I'm doing my bases, the Martian look. They have the Martian stuff you can put down, the technical stuff, but I just went with this. So we're going to use some Tuskgor Fur, and then we are going to, while that's drying, do the rim of the base with some Abaddon Black. And then to dull it down a little bit, to give it some more depth, we're going to do some Agrax Earthshade. And once that dries, you can put some XV88 dry brush on there or another type of light brown color. And then that's it. That's all she wrote. Pretty decent right there. Nothing too bad. Very nice for a goblin. It'll look great on the battlefield. And then with the new Armageddon box coming out, these are in there. So if you're looking for a way to paint these, we're going to try and do the whole Armageddon box. I just need to quit my job so I can do this full time, but that's never going to happen. Hopefully soon. I say that, but it's not going to happen anytime soon. Unfortunately, this does not pay the bills, but it is something I thoroughly enjoy doing. So again, I want to say thank you to all my YouTube members. You guys are absolutely amazing. You will get access to this on Sunday. We got a lot more 40K coming up. We've got Age of Sigmar coming up. We have, I mean, everything. I've got so much plastic, I don't know what to do with it. I'm sure my wife wants to leave me because I've spent so much money on plastic, but this is the hobby. This is it. This is all we do. So yeah, stay tuned, hit that subscribe button, and we will see you on the next one. All right, I love you all. Paint on.